Welcome to another day and another day of Dose of Did You Know? And with me today is Tammy Renee. My whole day I've been saying Tammy Ray. I'm like, that's not right, Danielle. It's Tammy Renee. I don't know. Blonde. It's gone right to the brain today. But no, it's Tammy Renee, and she is with Tammy Renee Music. You can find her on Facebook there and follow her. But how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Remember I talked about if I get 10% perfect, I'm okay. Well, we're on the 80% right now.
We are. We're good. I got up and, showered and did my hair because, it's been a few months. No, I'm joking. Haven't had anywhere to go really. So.
Well, that's the thing. Whenever I talk to people and I send them a link, they're like, do I have to put a shirt on for this? I'm like, well, I'll leave that up to you, but probably yes. You should do that.
That's funny.
But in a nutshell, tell everybody, who is Tammy Renee? What are you all about?
Oh gosh, you want this in like 30 seconds? Oh.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Okay.
3 minutes.
So I'm just a country girl. I was born in upstate New York in the country. And parents just worked and raised a mixed family, like a brother from this one and a sister from that one, and then kids in between, And always loved music. Started in a band, in my uncle's band when I was 9. I was singing, and fairs and festivals and all kinds of places, bar rooms even. And we just had so much fun. But I got sick, and I spent a lot of my childhood from age 11 to 20 in the hospital a couple times a year, having surgeries and things like that. Got married, kids, 7, 8 grandkids now. I got twins on the way coming. The grandkids.
No wonder your son's calling you and saying you need a babysitter.
I need a babysitter. Yeah. So we're just doing life. I've been married for 31 years.
And congratulations. That's a big deal nowadays.
Thank you. Yeah, it is. It is a big deal. And so, for the last 6 years, I've been concentrating on my music, and people will say to me, how come you waited so long? Well, it's because I didn't get to grow up. I didn't get to have the childhood and do all those things before I got married and raised a family. And now I get to do what I want to do, the things that I love to do, and the things that God's called me to do. So I am a musician, singer, songwriter. I'm a published author. Wife, mother, grandmother,
you're all of it.
I'm all of it. And that's who I am. I'm just real, just not fake. I can't be nobody but me. I say that all the time. I can only be the best me there is. That's it.
It's really hard being the best. It's a lot of responsibility just being the best person that you can be. I don't have enough to be something other than I am. And because there's multiple levels of me. Like I'm actually very shy and quiet. Like I was out the other day and someone said, oh, Daily Dose of Danny. And it caught me so off guard. I was like, oh my God, people know you? Like I was so embarrassed and shy. I was just like, I don't know what to do with myself.
Oh my God. And it's hard though, because we wanna be humble. Right. And so we get into those situations where people like recognize you or whatever when you're out and about, and you don't want to be like overexcited because you want to be humble, but then you're like, well, what do you do?
And people laugh, like Brian's laughing at me right now saying shy and quiet. It's true, Brian. I am shy and quiet by nature. I know it doesn't come out that way.
Oh my gosh. You do not act shy and quiet. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's in there. I fight against it, being the best that you can. But I was looking at your stuff. I was listening to this new song that you have, which is just your voice. You don't know what to expect when I'm like, okay, well, let's see it. I was blown away. Like seriously, a voice of an angel. Like that is what I thought.
Thank you.
But in that, I saw you writing about how growing up, maybe one of the ministers or one of the preachers like spoke over you about your voice. Can you talk about that? Because I was reading that, and maybe it's that you shared it that wowed me or was very impressionable on me. But tell me that story.
Well, I think the story begins back a little earlier than that, and in the sense that I've always loved music and I've always wanted to be a singer. I never wanted to be the next Carrie Underwood or the next Tanya Tucker. I just wanted to be, like I said, the best me. And so I started singing and writing music that spoke to me. But I was in an accident and I lost all of my top teeth. And when that happened, the bones started to deteriorate and I could not wear dentures or even implants. And I was so self-conscious that I would talk to people like this. I wouldn't eat in public. I would never smile in a photograph ever. And still to this day, sometimes, you won't find it very often. Let alone speaking on a live Facebook to thousands of people, I wouldn't do it. But what happened was I had to be comfortable with me. I had to, it's still very emotional and very raw, even though it was so many years ago, because the things that people say are pretty rude and pretty hurtful,
Yeah.
I was never going to be a singer because I didn't look like a singer. I was never going to be anything more than I already was because people would not accept me for this. For this middle-aged, overweight, gray-haired, no teeth woman. I mean, pretty much I've gotten all kinds. They say it all, believe me.
Yep. I'm sure.
And when they say it, you start to believe it, And I was in church. I mean, I didn't grow up in church, but I been in church for 15 years now, almost 20. And I believe God had a plan for my life. And I believe that it's singing in churches to encourage people. And that's my call. I know that it is. Okay. But it's hard to get up on a platform in a church and tell people to be encouraged when your self-confidence is so low that you feel so bad about yourself. It's very, it was like,
Yeah, you kind of feel like you're not being real. Like,
absolutely. I'm not being real. I even went to my pastor a couple of times because I said, I feel fake. And he said, what do you mean? I said, I feel like I'm being fake. Like I'm lying to these people. But I knew I wasn't, but I felt fake because I didn't feel good about me. And I had come to this conclusion that I'm okay the way I am. And not everybody's going to like it. Not everybody's going to like my music. And that's okay, But I was in church in a revival service in my church in Bradenton, Florida. And Pastor Brian Royer was my pastor, but Pastor Phil Polson was there. And I was playing piano behind him as he was preaching. And afterwards, they have an altar call and everybody goes up. And so I was down on the floor in the front, and he came over to me and he laid his hand on me and he told me, he said, you can, and he told me that this was from the Lord. He said, you can sing, but God told me to tell you that one day you will write music and you will write a song that will set you up for the rest of your life. And I have been just really digging in and waiting and writing music. And we wrote a song that I think is just phenomenal. And it's called Is That How You Say Goodbye? I can't sing it for anybody right now because it's not ready, but it will be. And we're still working on it to make it perfect. But I think here's the thing. I think as a songwriter, you have to learn when to sing your own music and give it away. And this song is not for me. This song is going to be for somebody who can really make an impact on the world with it. Somebody with, lots and lots of followers and a lot of people that would really be touched by it. That's not me. I think that given the right singer, the song could be huge. But that's my opinion. In the music industry, everything is opinion.
Right. But that is a huge piece of who you are and says so much, because you are, talk about giving giving away and being accepting, because you could have heard those words spoken on you and taken it all for yourself within your own ego and been like, that the voice is going to be mine, the words are going to be mine, this is my blessing. But you did it, you saw it for the clarity of how you received it. I mean, did it go through your mind ever that maybe it's supposed to come from my words, or was it straight, you knew right away that you were going to write it, but it wasn't for you? Or did it just, when it came for this, when this song was, when you created this song, that's when it hit you?
When we started writing the song, and I wrote it with a friend of mine, Beth Travers, she does a lot of songwriting in Nashville, but I wrote it with her. And when we started writing it, I thought, I could sing this out. But I knew by the time it was done, if I wanted it to be as big as I think it can be, somebody else has to record it and release it to radio. Not me.
Okay, so you knew that when you were.
Come on, I'm a little lady with, I got big vocals and everything, but look, you can't turn on your car radio and hear Tammy Renee. Let's just be real, okay? But you can hear some of these major artists when you turn on that radio, and that's what I want for that song.
That's what you want for that song. And did you know that when he spoke on you? Did you know that was the form?
No. Well, I can't say that. I had a feeling, because people in the music, if you're 20 and you're breaking into the music industry and you make it big, that's fantastic. But when you're 50 and you're breaking into the music industry, you can't strive to be the next Reba McEntire.
Right. Okay.
How rare is that? It could happen. If that's what God wanted for me, it could happen. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I don't see that. My call and my gift is to write and sing encouraging, positive, uplifting music that I can sing in a church or a festival or a fair or a restaurant or wherever, because I'll go anywhere. My message will never change, but I will go anywhere. But it's those songs that are going to touch people's lives and make a difference. Because I've had a lot of them come to me afterwards and tell me, I lost my mother, I lost my son, or this happened or that happened, I had cancer. And that song was able to help me forgive somebody, or that song touched me so deeply. It's those things. That's my purpose, my goal.
Where does that writing come from? Because I've listened to Michelle. She's watching. Michelle's wonderful. And she's
I can see who's watching. So
no, you can't. Only I can.
Hi, Michelle. Michelle is my new booking agent.
Michelle is one amazing woman, and she has introduced me to amazing people. So whenever she says to me, Danielle, hey, I want to introduce you to someone, I'm like, yes, because I love them all. They're like just the purest, good-hearted people, and each of you have your own story. So I'm learning about the music industry through this, which is fascinating, because I love people and I just love the world and how it works. Now I lost my train of thought because I got all.
Where does it come from? You said, where does it come from?
Yes. Where does that? Because I am learning through the industry that each person has their own soul and their own story, and their music is kind of a definition of that. So where does yours all come from?
I think mine just comes from hurt. I think when I can write the best, it comes from the darkest places. And don't get me wrong, I didn't have a bad childhood. Like, I had parents that loved me and, never abused us, none of that stuff. So for a long time, I was thinking to myself, how could God even call me to sing and speak in a church? I don't have anything for these people to relate to, but I was wrong, because a lot of the hurt that I go through was physical. It was the not being able to grow up as a kid, being in the hospital a lot. And then being I had two older siblings from my stepdad and a younger sibling from both of them. And I kind of felt like the odd man out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't, because I was never treated that way. But then it comes from a lot of emotional scarring from people always telling me that I would never be good enough. I would never be a singer. I would never fulfill.
It's okay. Take your time. Yeah. When people talk and they create that and it's almost like they pray their insecurities over you.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No matter what it is, you can't help but we can be so strong, but it seeps in and it seeps in. And it's amazing to me that you said through your pain is where you write, but what people are then receiving from you is such blessings. Now, isn't that the total opposite, right?
It is. But that's what I long for. Through my insecurities, through my through my hurt and through my pain, I can bless others with the words that pour out of me onto the paper. And hey, look, not everything I write is good. A lot of it's junk, you know. But I gotta tell you, I've written junk and sang it out, and people love it. So it just depends. It just depends.
Sometimes.
But I am
probably you could sing just like anything, and it would change your life.
People told me, you could sing the phone book, and I'm on the floor, and I'm like, but for a long time I never believed it. A lot of times people would say to me, "Oh, I love the way you sound," and I would always question, "Really? Are you sure it's okay? Are you sure it didn't sound bad?" Because that was instilled in me that I wasn't good enough.
When did you start receiving your greatness?
I don't think I have yet. I don't think I have. I don't think I'm great. I think I'm talented. I think that God has given me the gift to sing. I think that God is building my gift to write music. But here's the thing, it takes a lot of work. It's not just something, I wake up one day and I'm this great songwriter and great singer. Yeah. No, it takes a lot of work. And I think a lot of times people don't understand. They think that they're going to get into the music industry or the music business and they're just going to, because they're talented, wake up one day and be greatness. I don't think I'm great. I don't think I've received the fact that I'm great. I try to be as humble and as kind as I can. My husband will tell me all the time, "Well, you should tell people about your awards and your nominations and all this stuff." And I was like, "No, I'm not saying that to people." And he's like, "Well, why not? It's the truth." And I said, "Yeah, but I don't want to come across like I'm boasting."
Right.
Because that's just me. That's who I am. And I get it. I get what he's saying because people should know. It makes me a little more credible maybe. But I think my voice is all I need to make me credible.
Well, your voice speaks for itself, or the sound of it does speak for itself. But I think, and it's a challenging thing, we have to receive our greatness. And I think greatness looks, and the definition of it is so different for everybody else. But it's what God has, again, this is my personal opinion, everybody out there, put my disclaimer on there. But God gives us these gifts, and these gifts are his greatness. It's piece of him. So if we can't receive it, then we're rejecting it a little bit. Right. So it's finding that. So if you can, it's like when someone says, "You're beautiful. Your voice is beautiful." Well, thank you. Because I believe, yes, you have to put the work in. He'll give you that greatness, but if you just sit there and are complacent with it, well, then nothing's going to happen. But the work you see through your awards. The work is through people taking it up. The work is from people wanting to hear you more and more. And that's your receiving piece of it.
I think that in the last year, I've gotten a lot better at not apologizing for making a mistake or making a, maybe my pitch was off or maybe I sang the wrong song, whatever. I've gotten a lot better at not apologizing for me. And I've gotten a lot better at accepting the, the things, the nice things that people say to me.
Yeah.
And so I'm there. I'm getting there, but I just am doing the best that I can do. And I work hard. I write every day. I sing every day. I practice every day. I do my own marketing and publishing and writing books and websites and all kinds of stuff. Booking. I was doing all of that until Michelle came along. Thank God.
You can take that off your hands at least.
I know, right? So I'm hoping that that'll take a little bit of. It's a 40-hour week. Shoot, it's a 40-hour day job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, in order to stay relevant, you have to have new stuff, and you have to stay interacting with the people on social media.
Yeah.
So if you don't interact with those people, they're not going to follow you. They're not going to speak with you. They're not, a number of numbers. Your Facebook friends are like monopoly money. I mean, unless you're going to interact with them and have conversation and really, truly care about what they're doing and what they're going through, what's the sense in having them?
You just gave so much insight to just life. Life. And I love that you're so open and honest and really raw.
Sometimes to my detriment. Sometimes to my detriment, believe me.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm sure everybody listening appreciates it because we all have these things. We're just like we talked about. We're not these perfect, little bubbles going around. We fail, we make mistakes, we say things that are taken out of context. We have our own insecurities. We have you can name them, but I believe we both have that same insight is you have to look at the good. Because if you don't, there's so much of the other stuff. It can become overwhelming. And then where will you be and what will you give, to the world?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's, the big thing, over the last 3 months, we've been in this quarantine stuff and we've had to stay home. But I think even through all of that, that's when we have to really push through to do and not lose focus. That's why in this whole last 3 months, we put out a brand new album. It's not done yet. It's being mixed. It'll be available in August. But we focused on all of the things that we need to focus on while we can, and not lose sight of what we're really here for. Because if we get caught up in all of that other junk, we're going to waste all of this time that we have to do what we need to do. And then where are we going to be?
Exactly. Nowhere. You're going to be exactly where you were in the beginning.
Exactly. Yep.
And all that life would have passed by.
Yeah. And you wasted it being angry or being upset or whatever.
It's lead with love. That is my whole thing. Just lead with love. And even when you don't feel like it, even when you feel like you're a fake, because it's a choice. It's a choice. We can't all be bubbly and lovey all the time, but it is a choice how we act outwardly. And, well, of course, the time is coming to an end. This happens to me all the time. I want to keep going, but when I ask this last question, I want you to answer it with the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't overthink it. Don't give me some crappy bullshit answer, which I know you won't, but I have to just put my disclaimer out there. In this moment right now, Tammy Renee, what does love mean to you?
Oh, just being kind. Just love people. Just do the right thing. Don't find people's faults. Don't try to judge people based on what they've done in the past. Don't try to just treat people the way that you want to be treated. That's all it is. Treat people the way that you want to be treated.
I love that. I love it. Don't see people for their faults.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah.
And that is, I love this question because I believe love is like, it's constantly moving and morphing depending on the state you're in and the environment and your emotional state. So I believe it's like a river, it's always flowing. So I love to hear how other people, so I can sit with that for that day, and apply it. Really, if you apply what you hear just for like a day, even a half a day, or when it pops into your mind, change happens. That's how it happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so thank you for sharing, and everybody out there, follow her page. It's on this. I'll double make sure it's linked. Tammy Renee Music. You'll hear all of her stuff, her videos, the songs. I love that new video that I just saw that's out. That was
No One Will Ever Love Me.
Yes.
That's my new single. Yeah, love it. It's out on YouTube. Tammy Renee Music is on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat. I mean, you name it. It's out there. I mean, it's there, I thought we were going to sing a song. Look at that.
Oh, we can. I totally forgot. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, we're doing it. This is what is going to close out the show today. Tammy's going to bless us with her angel voice. I'm so glad you reminded me.
I am going to sing a song that was just written by myself and Corley Barker, and it is called Kansas.
Okay.
It kind of sums up my life. Can you hear the guitar okay?
I can.
Some days I'm Dorothy, clicking my heels in the rain. Sometimes I'm the scarecrow, wishing I could find my brain. I've been the lion, trying to build my courage up. I know how the Tin Man feels when I can't feel the love. Life ain't always rainbows with a shiny pot of gold. The path ain't always paved for me with a yellow brick road. When I get lost in spite of all my faults, you pull me through. You'll always be the Kansas I can come home to. Some days I'm not sure you don't have a magic wand or a crystal ball that tells you when I'm barely hanging on. When bad winds get to blowing, one whisper of your name sends troubles off and running back to where they came. Life ain't always rainbows with a shiny pot of gold. The path ain't always paved for me with a yellow brick road. When I get lost in spite of all my faults, you pull me through. You've always been the Kansas I can come home to. You never stop believing this old rusted heart. We'll always be together, even when we're worlds apart. Life ain't always rainbows with a shiny pot of gold. Path ain't always paved for me with a yellow brick road. When I get lost in spite of all my faults, you pull me through. You've always been the Kansas I can come home to.
Oh my God. Beautiful.
Thank you. Corley Barker and I wrote it a couple weeks ago. I love it, and it's going on my new project called Beyond Broken. And before we go really fast, it's my website is tammyreneemusic.com. They can order my new project. There's 13 songs on it. My old project, Steps, is phenomenal with No One Will Ever Love Me. And then we have this new book coming out. It's called Melody the Muskrat. Can you see it? Melody the Muskrat. And it's a children's book. It's in Spanish and English. It is amazing. And if you go on YouTube, you can actually see the book, and it turns the pages, and I'm reading the book. It's so
cool.
Yeah. So my grandkids get to be read to, like, by me.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
Well, you got a lot of them.
It's so cool. And we're going on tour. We're leaving August 1st. I'll be out on the road for 8 weeks in New York, Ohio, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, and a lot of places. And we'll have all of that on social media as well as the days get closer. So we're preparing. We're ready.
Oh my gosh. Well, New York, I'm going to have to look. Justin just said he bookmarked your site. So there we go.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you. So yeah, New York, I got 18 dates up there in August. So we're going to be all over the
place. New York? Now I'm curious because I like go into New York all the time. Not all the time. I move there at least like once a month.
I'm going to be in Fort Anne, New York, way up there by the Vermont border.
Oh, okay.
Fort Anne, Fort Edward, South Glens Falls, Saratoga Springs, like all up north New York.
All up that way. Well, I'm gonna have to make a trip up there. I'm gonna have to.
Oh, that's right. Because where are you? You're in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
My aunt and uncle are in New Hampshire, and I'm trying to get some churches in New Hampshire to book me.
Oh, that would be even more convenient. So I'll have to see what I can do.
So yeah, I got somebody calling me on the phone now.
Okay, well, that was perfect. We're wrapping it up. You were amazing, Tammy. Thank you for blessing us with your heart and your soul and your music and just sharing what you do and just really just being who you are.
Thank you.
You are a gift, and accept your greatness because I think you're fabulous.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everything.
You are welcome. And to everybody else out there, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Cool.